Hello and
Hello.
welcome to another video of Love and Wargames. In this video we are making a large, actually massive battle report, 3,000 points on each side, and it's going to be quite interesting because we're really making a scenario here. It's going to be an attack on a fortified harbor that is crewed by Italian militias that will be played by Steve here. And we have a massive Empire fleet that is coming to kick them out, but they are also backed up with the Alliance, and it will be played by Zongo. I will play some Covenant reinforcements, then you will be like, why Covenant reinforcements? Well, we are going to have a look at the scenarios, and then we're going to have a look at the fleets. As always, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, it really helps. Also give us a comment. As you have seen, there is a new contest where you can win either a Covenant fleet or a Union fleet. Like, share, subscribe, everything that you know of the YouTube stuff. And without further ado, let's have a look at the scenario. And here is the table for today. As you can see, we put a lot of terrain. I really believe like this, we have more and more beautiful terrain for the game. I hope you guys enjoy this. We try always to make some more stuff. The scenario today, we have this pirate base that is crewed, as you can see, by an Italian traitorous navy. So they are a little bit like pirates trying to live their own dolce vita. They had some Covenant troops, actually a little ambassador that is there, that came next to the HQ to try to negotiate the usage of this pirate base for their own aerial forces, so the flying saucers. Discussions were going well and the reinforcements of the Covenant were actually on their way when a very large Empire fleet came, and as always for the Empire, they've been doing this for the last few battle reports every time we've seen them, they're trying to clean the area around the Vortex Omega to try to make sure that they keep the control of this. So they have a pretty large force, and they also have some Alliance forces, some French forces to help them clean up, because as we know, the task force Mordred is now allied with the Empire, and they have been doing some cleanup ever since. So it's going to be a little bit Alliance civil war with some Italians here and just a little bit of French that have been captured there, and some French here. We have a special funny rule that if some Alliance forces fight each other, they are considered to be obscured against everything, including torpedoes. It's just like you do not roll explosives, because they are shocked to be facing each other. They did not anticipate this. Apart from this, as you can see, the Italians are quite in inferiority in terms of number, so we will try to survive until the reinforcements arrive, partially at the end of turn 1 and partially at the beginning of turn 2. And to represent this surprise attack of the Japanese, it's kind of like a little Pearl Harbor. There's going to be 2 activations of the Empire on turn 1 for every activation of the defenders, to really represent this special operation, and also they have the initiative. By the end of turn 1, I will have some flying saucers arriving, especially all those with a cloud dive to represent they're coming fast. They will appear here at the end of turn 1, so after all the other activations. Same for my ambassador that tries to stay safe. And later on, we're going to have some more reinforcements, such as this Thule here with my Admiral, and some other reinforcements in case it gets really bad. That is for the scenario. So Italians are trying to hold the line, the Empire trying to make some attack and make some boarding, even to make sure they get some prisoners to interrogate, and the Covenant is trying to help for the defense and especially to survive with their troops. That's it for the scenario. Let's have a look at the fleets. So we begin with the attacking Empire forces.
Okay, hello everyone. So I'm starting from left to right. Starting with 3 Yamaguchi attack cruisers. So these guys are really nasty bastards. They have 7 armors. They have focused gunnery and a lot of gun batteries, as you can see. So I hope they're gonna do well. And 2 Sakata heavy destroyers. So there are only 2 of them, so it's not too much. But well, let's see what do. Then I'm playing 3 Okinawa recon cruisers. I don't think they're the best units in the Japanese Armada, but I love the model actually, so I wanted to play it. I'm actually also playing 2 big pieces with the Shinzo Inouye, so a really big ship with a big hyper-lens cannon, and it's a generator ship, so it buffs every Japanese ship nearby. I also have the Zhanmadao Sky Fortress, so huge model as you can see, with SRS, rocket batteries, etc. etc. And I have 3 medium carriers, I think they're called the Mizushis.
Yep.
With those nasty exosub special carriers, special subs, well, whatever. Then moving on with my French force. So, as you may have guessed, they are French from V2, from Spartan era, but I'm playing them with Warlord rules. So we have 3 Chevaliers with a double heavy magnetic bombard each. So probably a good unit. We'll see how it behaves on the battlefront, but I hope it's powerful. I have a Couronne as well, escorted by 4 Écuyer frigates.
And some Japanese escorts.
Because I don't have Alliance escorts already. And last but not least, I have a Mars battle fleet. So it's a bit different from the new model, but it's a Mars. It's a Mars.
Imagine it's a Mars.
It is a Mars.
It looks really cool with this design. And that's it for the attackers. As you can see, really high power there. Some very good, tough offensive unit. And now let's see what the Italians have in front of this. All of this is 3,000 points. And so the defenders, 2,000 points of Italians.
Hello there. So there is in my Italian forces some composite forces of each mass, 1, 2, and 3. We have 2 gladius, I think, with Atlantis and some magnetic generator. There are some Scorpios, yes, with Rostratum naval artillery.
That should be fun.
Oh yeah, and there is 2 Jupiters, yes, with 4 SRS each, and with the submarine lander. With Epaulars, 3 of each.
Okay, 2 squadrons of 3.
Yes, was captured by the Italian rebel. And 5 Sagitta.
So powerful submarines, they put mines around.
So there is 3 mines with Sagitta and the 2 Gladius with Scutum. There is my mass land one, and there is
Chestus
Zebex, yes, and Pujos, yes, and for the finishing,
of course,
a big Mars with it's 3 escorts and a Vulcan repelled ship.
Looks amazing.
Yeah.
And one thing we didn't specify is that there is, for this scenario, we play with the Storm special rules, which means that we double the drift for everyone. And also, if you are within 12 inches, I think, of this elephant goddess, we will roll critical, and there is a chance we get a shredded defense, or I think it's a navigation lock. So that is.
Generator offline.
Generator offline, sorry. And for the Covenant, those that are already here are going to be the Ambassador Von Still, that is here negotiating until then. She's in a Daedalus class tether ship with 4 escorts, and there is a little Tacitus proxy here with that is here to, well, protect the Ambassador. They will play at the very end of turn 1 with their reinforcements of the Covenant once everybody has finished playing. And my secondary objective is to keep the Ambassador alive, and either to keep the Daedalus alive or to evacuate the Ambassador. Okay, that is it for the fleets. Let's start with the first 2 activations of the Empire. Okay guys, the first activation is the Shinzuo Noi, like the named Matsumoto, which is going to use its hyperbeam lens gun on the Mars, and it's going to hit 3 of the Pujo on the same time. So what's going to happen? It's depending on the range. Each Pujo is going to launch 2 dices for each of the 3 of them that he's going to touch. And for the Mars, he launches 3 dices. Depending on the result, it can be different things. If he gets explosives, for example, it's a catastrophic explosion. So that's already quite good. Another thing to note is that for the Mars, since it is the main target, if he doesn't have explosive, he can transform any dice into an explosive. Okay, so let's roll first for the Mars.
Okay.
And the Mars, well, he can transform one of them into an explosive.
So it does a total of 2 catastrophic explosions.
Okay, so 2 catastrophic explosion, it's gonna be 4 points of damage straight on the Mars, which is already good.
And 2 level of disorders.
Yeah, and 2 level of disorder, straight on, like big railgun, boom. And the first time we tried this this weapon, it is quite quite fun. Now for the Pujo, let's start with the one that is the furthest away.
This one?
Yeah, furthest. Yeah.
So it
hit.
is a critical hit.
Critical hit. Usually we don't see that often. Navigation lock.
Navigation lock. It starts there.
Yeah. Okay. Usually we cannot get critical hits on mass ones because when you breach the citadel, they die. Except for special rules like this that inflict critical hits. Okay. Thank you.
Then this one.
Then the second one. Yeah. And
does nothing.
Nothing?
A level of disorder.
Okay. Disorder for this guy. Okay. And the last Pujo.
Nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Eh ben,
double blank.
Eh ben, great. Double blank.
So
1 chance out of 36.
Not that powerful, but
Okay, well, not powerful. Already 4 damage on the Mars is already not nothing.
350 points.
Yeah, but it's a generator ship. It's not supposed to be a gun battery, like a gun platform.
Sure enough.
Okay, very well. We'll do the rest of the actions of the Matsumoto and come later. Alright, so in the end, thanks to the magma and a good torpedo roll, one of the Pujo was killed, even though Steve tried very bravely to use a card to count explosives as a double defense did not work. Now activation of the 3 Okinawa. Zongo spent 6 SRS token, 3 here and 3 there, to try to remove the mine. He needed explosives, he did none. And it means both of the minefields are still there, and the Okinawas lost their aircraft for this turn. We still believe that the SRS mine clearance is way too underpowered. It should be like, I don't know, on a hit, or maybe at least heavy hit. So yeah, heavy hit seems like the good balance, because right now explosives only, you spend your SRS, which is a very precious resource, to try to remove the mines. It's still like the sending a frigate is still the best way to remove the mine, like at least you're sure. So really SRS mine clearance should be boosted quite a lot. That is our opinion in the group, like quite a lot. Like
like double or triple.
Yeah. Now let's see what the Okinawas will do. Zongo was saying that the Okinawas were not so good. Well, he proved it wrong.
If you heard from the
He made insane rolls all the time. At some point he launched 4 dice with 4 explosives on a small broadside. They did, with their rockets and gun batteries, kill this Gladius with each time 20 plus hits. Then the magma generators that they each gained because of the named Matsumoto, so shot this guy and finished him off for sure. Torpedoes did a critical on the Scorpio, and the broadside, singular just from this guy, killed off this Chestu Zebek. Overall, insane turn for the Okinawas. They did not like that we tell that they are weak. Now, finally, an activation from the Italians. Alright, first activations of the Italians. They're gonna use their very lethal but very fragile Pujo to try to make as much damage as possible. First of all, when they targeted the Shinzu... I need to know the real name. Shinzu Inoi? Shinzu Inoi of this guy. We tried to make a generator offline with a Valor effect, which was countered because he has 2 sources of Fortunes of War, yes. And it's going to make one big package of all the torpedo turrets, all going there, so going under the shield generator. With Pack Hunter, it makes this dice pool. So we're really counting on this to make a ton of damage. Let's have a look at the roll. I don't even know. Oh la 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 la. Oh putain. I don't even know how many dice it is, but I see how many explosives it is. Wow.
I don't like it.
Between the Okinawa's activation and the Pujo, we are doing so many explosives this game. Like, like what the hell?
Ça commence pas.
12 explosives, making another 2 explosives. This is statistics. This is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
And another explosive. And no, sorry. Oh la la la. Okay, defensive roll of.
Let's go.
He's hoping for.
Okay.
Minus 4. Minus
5.
Minus 5. Oh, okay. Sorry. Minus 5. Let's count and see what happens. I think we should prepare the critical rolls.
Oh.
Okay, so it was in the end 47 hits. Yes, so 5 points of damage plus 2 from the catastrophic explosion. We're gonna roll an explosive, and one of the little escort died because it was a catastrophic explosion from a submerged attack. Doesn't happen always, but it did happen here. Let's see what is going to be the critical roll. Oh! 8th point of damage, and he goes forward 4 inches.
Let's go!
Oy, oy, oy. Getting in range. Oh là là, poor little guy.
Et ben voilà, il est creepy.
Pujos are a threat. Okay, next couple activations of the Empire, they're really hitting us hard. The Zhanmadao sent 8 SRS token on this guy, and linked with heavy firepower at 48, hard to counter, all their heavy rocket batteries, and he obliterated in one salvo this poor guy to whom he had shredded defenses, so no chance for this guy. Broadside also did some damage on this guy, which anyway was shot off because the Couronne, it was his turn to activate, sending 10 SRS token on the Mars, and with all the Écuyères, broadside, it lances, rocket, destroying 3 of the Pujos. That's quite tough for the Italians, but they're still there. We'll see who activates next for them. Alright, very good activation of the 5 Sagittas that are right here. They went into deep dive, and with their pack hunter, they shot everything on this guy. 32 dices, doing 30 or 31 hits. The Matsumoto, being now 715 in armor and citadel, got 4 points of damage plus 2 from the critical explosion, lost another escorter, and he has like 2 hull points left. Less like -2 citadel, and he's at the black level of disorder. It's not going very well. I don't think he will see the end of turn 1. And that was the activation of the Italians, because let's remember, it's still a surprise attack. The Empire is punching hard, and and the first activation they're going to do is going to be these 3 Chevaliers. Next 2 activations of the Empire. First, we had the alliance allies of the Empire, those 3 Chevaliers, which obliterated 2 of the Epaulas with their heavy magnetic bombards, which are not aerial anymore, so they're really good submarine hunters. And the torpedoes doing 1 point of damage on the Sagitta because of a good defense roll of those Italian submarines. Next activation were those 2 Saccata, and just 2 Saccattas, even though this Gladius was obscured, managed to do like 18 hits. So that was 3 points of damage and a critical roll, which is Citadel breach, reactor leak. That is it for the Empire. Let's have a look what the Italians will do. The Italians activated the Gladius here, which did really not great rolls, doing 1 point of damage with these 2 heat lances on the Saccata, despite sharpshooter and everything, and the torpedoes doing 1 point of damage barely on this Okinawa. 2 more activations of the Japanese. First, the Yamaguchis here, 1 going there and 2 going there to send some torpedoes and heavy gun batteries. And also the Mizushis there that did not go in deep dive, so they could turn around, even though that means they will get some heavy magnetic bombards from the Mars. What happened here is that this guy got crippled. He has 3 hull points left, and 1 Pujo got obliterated, and this guy lost 1 hull point, this little Sagitta, and the second Sagitta got killed by the Mizushi's torpedoes. That starts to be a lot, not many Italians left. Let's go back to another single activations of the Italians. Activation of the Italians, those Chestus Zebek came here. They were like, do we try to make some broadsides? And we didn't roll for the broadsides actually on the Écuyère, by the way. They did all their gun batteries with focus gunnery on the Couronne, doing 3 points of damage and a critical, which is shredded defenses. So of course, since the Italian wants to put a lot of SRS tokens later, it will be annoying for them. But the Mars that is here is going to try to activate, maybe finish within 4 inches of the Couronne and try to repair him with its advanced repair facilities. That is actually going to be the last activation of the Mars, and then all the Italians and then the Covenant will come to try to hold the line. The Italians lost a lot of stuff. Like this is the dead pile of the Italians. And where is the dead pile of the Empire? There is nothing yet.
There are 2 escorts.
2 escorts.
It's a surprise attack. Okay?
Right. But reinforcements are on the way. Now let's see what the Mars will do. Okay, the last activations of the Empire and the Alliance is done. The Mars tried heavy firepower that was countered, even though he got the card back with 4 Valor. He did all the heavy magnetic bombards with every torpedo salvo with coordinated support on the Mars, doing 2 points of damage and a critical, which was shredded defenses, and on top of this, navigation lock, because that's how it is with the magnetic weapons. Overall, quite a lethal turn from the Empire, but now the Italians are raising their head like, is it finally over? And they will try to activate the last few things to try to clean up. And of course, at the end, some Covenant SRS will, carriers will come to try to put some defenses, because there is a lot of enemy SRS all around. We'll do the activations of the Italians, and we will see just before the arrival of the Covenant what the Italians managed to do.
Yep.
Okay, and of all the activations of the Italians, we will start with the Mars, which did a crazy repair roll. As you can see, he repaired everything that he had. He even gained a health point back. That is quite a good roll. He did a navigation lock and some damage on the Couronne. Thanks to the Epaulat and a few other damage dealers, we finished off the Shinzu Noi, like the named Matsumoto. He is finally sunk, along with the very brave Admiral of the Empire fleet that just charged forward. And one thing interesting, the Scorpio used its Rostratum to do everything there. So he did a critical, plus piercing, plus magnetic, so navigation lock, and the Valor effect that we used a card of 52 to point this guy against the island. So as you can see, he's gonna be annoying for his friends. He has navigation lock, so he cannot even use the full reverse, and he's pointed right to this little statue. And let's remember that there's gonna be a storm turn 2. Technically in the fluff we didn't know it yet, but this means he's gonna double his drift next turn. Let's say that the captain here is not feeling very confident. That is it for the Italians. I will drop the aerial reinforcements of the Covenant, and they will not shoot that much at all, like pretty much, but they will send some SRS token just surging from the clouds, Star Wars-like, and then we'll make the last couple activations. I don't think that I will do a lot of stuff, but at least I will deploy some SRS. And finally, the Covenant have arrived. So we have this literal drop of flying saucers. We have 8 Pythiers, 2 Onebus, and Zongo authorized me for the beautiful picture to have the Thule right away. Thank you, Zongo. And as you can see, so I'm not gonna shoot at all this first turn. I'm just dropping some SRS token, as we said, to make a beautiful air battle. We will resolve all the SRS interceptions, attack, blah, 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 everything outside of the camera, because there's gonna be a lot of dice rolling. There is no flag broadside, nowhere, so that solves the problem. And we will meet at the end of the first turn. Once all the air battle is done, we'll see if this guy survives, some of those submarines, and of course the Mars. We will resolve all of this and see what happens at the end. Okay, many things happened here. Quite interesting and quite out of statistics, we will tell that at the end. We have the Mars here that made a great interception roll, thanks to a lot of aircrafts in defense. He wiped out the entire attacking fleet. It was like 8 SRS tokens before they even had a chance to get away, because of 3 explosives on the flag barrage of the Chest to Zebek, and a great interception roll. Here it went a little bit less good, actually. Yeah, the Couronne as well. The Couronne as well got 1 point of damage only, and the critical damage was a navigation lock with a piercing?
Yes.
Yeah, indeed, that's what it was. Yeah, and the thing we were forgetting that was quite cool is that the Couronne actually, with the piercing, got magazine explosions. And that's why you see everybody around, all the Écuyères and the Mars that came to help, got a point of damage. Sagittarius didn't go so good. 2 of them died, and 1 of them survived just because Zongo did a terrible rolling. And here, without too much surprise, the Scorpio got obliterated, even though there was a lot of defenses. And he got a magazine explosion, which means these 2 Pythios got a point of damage, and this little Gladius as well. One thing that is interesting is that for the reroll that happened here, he made a reroll and he launched 3 dice, making 3 explosives. And the 3 explosives made another 3 explosives. Like, we counted the statistics, Zongo, our math teacher, counted. It's 1 chance out of 46,000, about. So that is highly unlikely, and it spelled the doom of the Scorpio. But at this point, like, there is not much you can do against rolling like this. So the Scorpio is dead. That is the end of the first turn. The Covenant reinforcements are here to stay, and we will see how it's going. The Empire and Alliance did make quite a breach in the Italian defenses. Let's see turn 2 how it goes, especially since now the storm is rising. If you get close to the center, you might have some generator offline and stuff, and you double your drift. Alright guys, first couple activations of the French. Well, yeah, it was the French. The Couronne went here and he did quite a lot of damage on the Mars. He's again at the red level of disorder, generator offline, lost 2 hull points, thanks to a not great roll from the heat lances. With the broadsides and stuff, they sank a chest to Zebec and destroy one of the Pujo with a boarding action. The French, with their torpedoes here, the 3 Chevaliers, crippled outright the Jupiter here with their torpedoes, and with their magnetic bombards did 8 hull points or 7 or 8 hull points of damage on this poor Onebu, which has only armor 5 and Citadel 11 for mass 3 that cost 160. Everything is fine. So 26 hits already crippled him easily and almost kill him. He has navigation lock automatically from the magnetic, so it doesn't trigger the +2 damage, which would kill him outright. And he got a Citadel leak, so he's at the yellow level of disorder. That is it for the nice first 2 activations of the French. Now there's going to be 1 activation of the Italians and 1 activation of the Covenant. I think we all know what I'm going to activate. Okay guys, now is the critical time of the game. The Italians are activating the Mars, but me, I want to activate the Honebus, but if I activate them, even if they're a little bit fast, I will still be at closing range of the enemy, which is absolutely not where I want to be. I will have the heavy particle cannon, which is fine, but that's it. What I want to do, however, is to teleport these with the techno-encabulation drive to try to put them somewhere there, to put all the broadside, the boarding, the bombs, everything. That's what I want to do, but it all depends on a dice that I cannot reroll anyhow because I don't have Zumina, I don't have Archimedes and stuff. Basically, if I do a red, I'm happy, I'm fine. If I do a blue, they will be either single shield, they will just do their drift and they cannot move further. Double shield, they go back to reserve. Blank, they're destroyed. Santa Maria! The Italians are praying for us. So let's go, looking for reds. Santa Maria! Yay! So I teleport 30 inches from my position. I will go, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna put broadside left, broadside in the front, the bombs, the heavy particle. I'm doing everything and I'm gonna board the Zhanmadao because we have balls. Alright, let's do all of this. Alright, we're just gonna announce the shootings before we do them outside of camera and we'll tell the end. The Mars and its repair ship are coming here. They will shoot the French, of course. And lots of things to say about the Honebus because they have tons of weapons. Broadsides on 4 directions. 1 broadside on the Mars, 1 on the pack of Chevalier, 1 on the Okinawa, and 1 to the front, I think we said on the Mizushi. So that's already going to be something. Then we have the bombs, 2 bombs on the pack of Chevalier, 1, 2, that's going to be great. Heavy particle cannon at 360 is going to go on this pack here. I'm going to touch both of them. X-ray laser banks that are arc ignoring shields thus going on the Zhanmadao, and I'm gonna board later on the Zhanmadao because it's a bit further from this guy, but I have Alien Cohort which boosts my fray. I have assault at 6, gonna get counterbonding, and I gain sustained on this. So that is going to be a lot of pew-pewing all around. Let's do all of this outside of camera and see at the end what was the result. Onibus are quite glass cannons. They do a lot of damage if they survive, and that's the big if. Guys, something insane happened. First, the Mars did what it was supposed to do. It did quite a lot of damage on the Couronne, a few points of damage, navigation lock because of magnetic, and generator offline, so it's at the red level of disorder. But the main thing, what we did not see coming, is the Honebus, which teleported here and did an insane amount of damage. So yes, they are super glass cannon, they can die like in a few volleys, but damn, when they are at point blank like this, like we've rarely seen this level of damage. Yeah, they activated, thank you. The broadside did, in 4 directions, did quite a bit of damage. Heavy particle cannon, which with the blast, because it was within 10 inches of the target, did all the damage here, including an explosion, so there did a lot of damage, including crippling this Mizushi. The bombs in the rear with blast and piercing did like all of that here. So again, insane roll for these guys with a single bomb. On the X-ray, they did again here on the Mars a lot of damage of the Mars, so shredded defense, Sturgeonium flare, everything. I don't even remember. Yeah, the boarding finished off the Chevalier there, and yeah, a little bit of damage on those guys as well with the broadsides. Overall, for a pack of units, including one that was crippled, it was an insane amount of firepower. I have to say, it's a bit too glass cannony for my taste because they're extremely fragile, but when they teleport here, which again is a dice roll, they obliterated like half of the Empire fleet. So it's very cool to have these flying saucers teleporting in the middle of the fleet and just shooting around. Very fluffy, like I like the image. But in terms of gameplay design, it's too random. Like I understand Covenant is supposed to be the Dystopian Wars Skaven, but you need a good luck to get it point blank. You need a good luck to get the teleportation roll, and if you have this, then you win. But otherwise, you do almost no damage and you die easily. So it's like, a bit too random for my taste, I have to say. And even Zongo was surprised by the level of firepower of this battle station.
Because you told me they were crashing it.
Yeah, they're very bad. Like
they're not. They just
like,
ruined my fleet.
Yeah, they're very
That's
good.
not a trash in
Yeah,
it.
they're very
You
good.
lied to me, basically.
They're very bad if you don't teleport. But then when you teleport, you have one chance out of
Then
two.
you could have told me they're bad if
they're at
if
loading.
they don't teleport.
So that is it for the Alliance and the Covenant. We're going back to the Empire. Okay, we made the activations of the Empire. Mizushis are sending all their Exosub SRS token on this Onebu here because Entropic will not work against SRS attacks. Torpedoes obliterated one of the Sagitta. The torpedoes of the three Yamaguchis crippled, like it was already crippled, but they really did a number on the Jupiter. He has one whole point left, and he did an explosion, damaging a little bit everyone, including the Thule. And the one thing that was crazy is he did an attack with focus gunnery on this guy. I think he had, after the shield and everything, 18 or 19 dices, I cannot remember exactly, or 20. He made 18 hits, so it should have been 3 whole points and 1 critical. I did 6 dices of defense, thanks to Luminifero's defenses, doing -9, which is insane, completely out of statistics. And I went below like I just took 1 whole point of damage, which is like crazy. So good roll from the Fool, where there is my Admiral, but again, Covenant is really can spike one way or the other. Now we're going back to the Italians and another activation of the Covenant. Alright, we activated. The Jupiters here sent all their SRS on the Couronne all the way back there, and sent some torpedoes on this guy, but even if he had no defenses, they failed to do any point of damage. Then I activated this Daedalus, which went very far because he had a drift of 6, then a little bit of turn. He did 1 point of damage with the particle beamer, and especially only with 5 dices, and that's it. He managed to hit all 3 of them with a blast attack from the heavy particle cannon, which was enough to trigger through piercing 3 critical damage, so 2 navigation locks there, and then an explosion, so 2 whole points for all these guys. Good roll from the Daedalus. He then repaired quite well, but no whole point to give back. I could repair technically maybe the Italians, but since we are not the same faction, we decided when it's 2v2 that we cannot interact between 2 allied fleets. Like I cannot benefit from his generator ships, etc, etc. And now the Mars is activating. He hit the Couronne because of the huge drift of 6 and moved this direction, and is now going to shoot all his weapons. Next 2 activations of the Empire. We had the Mars that activated, as we said, and he did quite a lot of damage on the Mars. This little guy is crippled, and then the Mars repaired himself only, so he removed a few things, he even gained a health point back, and that's it. Then the Zhanmadao, as you can see, took matters into his own hands. He killed this guy with a broadside, this guy with heavy firepower on rockets, 27 dices, plus a boarding to finish him off. Thanks to critical, he killed him off, so yeah, they're fine, but they can die fast. And then rockets on the Jupiter doing nothing. That's it for the Empire. And he did a double activation, which at 58, and it is the Okinawa, which sent more and more and more SRS token on my poor Thule, and on, yeah, that's it, and they're going to shoot now, even though navigation lock, island, yeah, that might hurt because there is a little traffic jam right there. Let's see how he handles it. Okay, activation of the Okinawa. The torpedoes killed off the poor little Gladius there. Yeah, their torpedoes. And the rockets did 1 point of damage on this Thule, and he used a card to make generator offline, and then the gun batteries, heavy gun batteries, did 8 hits. And with Luminifero's defenses, I did -7, so obviously nothing. But yeah, when the Thule gets his defenses online, especially with the Daedalus around, the defenses are hard to breach, that's for sure. We activate for him the Chestu Zebek that will try to finish off the alliance, probably the Quad. And for me, I have my Thule that is activating for probably his last activations, I'm afraid. The SRS will follow me. I put my own SRS on myself to try to cover myself. I will put no bomb because they're too far. Heavy broadside here, heavy broadside there. I will do the blast on the 3 Mizuchis because I need to shoot at closing. And I have my X-ray laser bank that I will probably link everything here on this guy, which is barely at point blank. And I will do it probably 2 times 12. I will not link with myself because, well, it's better this way. That is what is going to happen. We will do all the rolling for the Chestus and the Thule, and we'll see at the end who survived. All right, all of the Empire has played. He's going to bring his reserve, the Second Zhanmadao soon, so he's gonna drop somewhere that will bring the pain. What we did in the meantime, before he comes, I activated my Pytheus, making an absolute defensive line of SRS token to try to intercept his own. So there's going to be the air battle to finish all air battles here, especially since I will probably bring even more reinforcements later on. Here, my Pytheus, being very fast actually, came here in range and sent all their pulse broadsides on the Sakata, sinking it. The Epolar here shot on this guy, doing 2 hull points and a critical, which was a navigation lock anyway, so magnetic did not get used. Sagitta is doing a little shot on this guy. He has defense, we'll see if he dies or not. And then there is going to be, of course, the big Zhanmadao that is coming down. We'll see where he comes. Okay guys, we are going to film the last action because we are running out of time and we are need to finish to go home because the shop is closing soon. So we had this second Zhanmadao full of angry Japanese that arrived. They have Hokyong, so the flamethrower everywhere. So flamethrower killed this guy here, and between the bombs and all the flamethrowers, though all the Italians and French are dead and the Daedalus has been crippled. Thanks to the shield and mostly shield and entropic, they did no damage on those little saucers and this giant saucer either. Rockets crippled almost killed them out, but he has 1 hull point left. And now, something a little bit interesting to say, he's trying to make a boarding, and he's probably, like, if I don't do anything, he has 20 dices, elite, and I have 19 dices, he would for sure kill me easily. However, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spend 8 of my aircraft token. It will be less glorious air battle, but if I do this, I have less chances to get a carnage and to get crippled. Why do I want to do that? It's because once the Thule gets crippled, he has a choice to divide into different Onebus, and the excessive damage is lost. So that is my plan, that the big SRS attack will not one-shot my Thule, but only trigger the surviving by dividing into 2 ships. But to do this, if he makes a carnage, I am crippled outright, and that's not good at all. So that's what I'm trying to count on. I have 43 dices of counterboarding. He has 20 dices of elite boarding. We're gonna film this because it's gonna be the last big action with maybe the last SRS attack, but we know the result already. Let's film this, and first the boarding of Zongo. 20 dices elite crew?
22.
22 dices, sorry. Elite crew, rerolling blanks. 3 explosives. A reminder, entropic generator does not work against assaults. 43 dices. I'm looking for blues.
Not so bad.
Okay guys, we are almost done because we're really running out of time. In the end, it was a brutal result, so 1 point of damage and 1 critical, which was generator offline, which I accept because it will not help me much, and Sturgeonium Flare, which I can trigger because of Enlightened Science, would give me 2 points of damage. I don't want that. And that is going to be about it. I'm not gonna make the last few attacks. I have the Tacitus more and some more SRS token. I will put for my SRS of the Pythius an attack on the map, trying to finish it off. We will see if we do, just for the fluff, manage to sink out the entire Alliance fleet. That's what we want to make sure they don't report the treason of the Italians. In the end, here, we will not film this because we're out of time, but probably, even with a good interception roll, all of this, that's a lot. They will cripple the Thule, and the Thule will divide into 2 Honebus, with my Admiral on one of them, and they are going to run away. So my Admiral, thanks to being in the Thule, survives. The Italian Admiral barely survives. The Mars is completely crippled, but is still alive. And we will play the rest here, and we will tell you in the debrief what is the end of this. Okay, just before we go to the debriefing, we actually made a few rolls. The Admiral here in his 2 Onebus, it was too risky because there is a lot of SRS coming still. He made a teleportation from the TED device and he did succeed very well, so he teleported to safety. And the Daedalus as well, with 2 dices, it was quite difficult. It was a red and a blue, and actually I can even choose the red in this case, but in both cases, either reserve, either good teleportation, so the Ambassador as well survives. For the Admiral Garibaldi Barbarossa, right, he goes on one of the little escort ship running away. We made a roll and he succeeds well, actually, he had luck as well. The Japanese Admiral on the Shinzo Onoi got injured, but he is still alive and he's going to the medicine room of the Zhanmadao. And the French Admiral on the Couronne is really fine and he transfers to the Mars. The Mars is not even crippled, so the French will be able to get the information that there is this red traitor Italian navy. And of course the base has been breached, especially by the Second Zhanmadao that arrived in the end. But anyway, they had more forces than us. So in the end, the Italian pirate base has been destroyed. The Italian Admiral goes away with what is left of his fleet, which is not much. He will need to start to rebuild. And the Covenant didn't lose that much because they teleported away. But still, like, they will need to find another ally to get a foothold in the region. That is it for today. Let's go fast for the debriefing. Alright, we hope you enjoyed. Before you leave, remember to give us a thumbs up and a comment. It always really helps. And now we'll make a quick debriefing, because the shop is closing, about what we liked and what we didn't like. Zongo, you won the battle. What did you think?
I think it was really cool to play with you guys. First.
Yeah, it's always nice.
First and foremost. I think we had a really beautiful table with a lot of beautifully painted models. About the game itself, I would say the Shinzo Onoi was a great ship, actually.
It was very good, giving magma around.
Yeah, with Fortunes of War and a bubble of
shield and everything.
Like any generator ship, it's targeted and it dies really fast, but it's a powerful ship. I was impressed by the Okinawa, actually.
Yeah, for once, they rolled well.
And they rolled well. And maybe that the setup with 3 heavy rockets and 3 guns is not so bad, because with the alchemical rockets you trigger alchemical
and then you
got Mercafirma. So it's a bit complicated, I must say.
It's for pro players like
but it's powerful. Anyway, well, I don't think I would play this in a competitive.
But we wouldn't play any of this.
Well, not much actually. But overall, it was fun.
We would all play Imperium if we were competitive.
Yeah, probably the heavy magnetic bombard on the
It's very good. It's very good now. Now that it's not aerial anymore, it's a very good weapon.
Especially for
maybe better than
for the 3 Chevalier. You just
you put this extreme range.
There's nothing much you can do.
Plus you link with torpedoes, with
it gives you a huge firepower, even long range firepower, which was something that Alliance didn't have so much.
True.
So interesting.
And okay. Steve, for the Alliance, the Scorpio combo, the maps, what did you think? The Scorpio is good.
The Scorpio is very amazing, très surprenant,
surprising.
Very surprising, and it's a beautiful ship,
especially when painted by steel.
And For the first battle with only Italians, it's really tanky.
Yeah, they're tough. For alliance, you were surprised, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you show your flank, which is what he did and what you should do if you play Italians.
Oh yeah, I like it. Very.
So yeah, it was good. For the Covenant, well, as always, the Covenant, as we've said during the game, they are very all or nothing. They're very fragile against some attack. Like if you focus down, you pass the shield, they have super low armor, so you can really hit them hard, especially if you can ignore the shield, then they die.
Yeah.
Against Dystopian for sure.
It's really a matter of rock, paper, and science.
Exactly.
Like, if you have the right attack, it's really
you
easy
breach,
to...
and if you just shoot with the gun battery, like you do nothing.
Yeah.
Because the reality is you're gonna be a long range, -4, -5 shield,
plus
luminous defenses,
yeah,
it's like then you don't have anything anymore.
So it's a bit frustrating actually because it's decided when you build the list.
Yeah, it's very much a list building counter. Like mechanically they can be countered by some weapons and then the Covenant cannot do much at all. Or you don't build to counter the Covenant and then you just bounce off and you don't do anything. It's a bit frustrating in this sense. Especially with the Zhanmadao at the end, he teleported like, yeah, I got flamethrowers and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but it's -5 dices. I am gonna prevent the rerolls on. So for something with Fusillade, it's very frustrating. And then you just don't do anything at all with this kind of weapon. So yeah, it's rock, paper, scissors. And the techno-encabulation drive, the teleportation, always being, well, we're not a huge fan of something that is played on one dice roll here. But it's the whole concept of the Covenant. I might play a little bit less Covenant on the fleet. Not only because I give part to the contest, by the way, give us a comment, you might win a Covenant fleet or Union fleet. And part I'm giving to Valentin to make a massive Covenant fleet for him. On my side, I'm going to focus back on the Commonwealth and stuff, but they're still very beautiful. I do like the flying saucers. In grey, they're not so good, but when you paint them gold and stuff with all the details, as you can see, I think they do look really, really cool. Plus the Pythius, the mass 1 aircraft carrier, is very good.
Really
it's
nice,
very good.
really
It has a
nice.
shield generator inbuilt. It's mass 1, so of course it's going to be obscured. What else do you get? You get Luminiferous Defense 4 on these little things. They have
Plus
4 hull
flying,
points and it's flying. Like, it's very annoying to deal with. So probably one of the most competitive Covenant force. Alright, that is going to be it. We hope you enjoyed. Again, subscribe and everything, all the YouTube things. Until the next video, take care of yourself and remember to keep spreading the love all around. Bye!